All right, so I'm actually going to redo the same topic that I did in a video, I think like 3 or 4 years ago. This was actually back when this channel was new and back before there even really was an alt-right. Well, there was, but it was in its infancy. It was a fledgling movement. And at the time, I was kind of a big brain centrist with right-wing leanings, right? And I was also much more sensitive to criticism. So what happened was this video actually got a whole bunch of thumbs down, and I was all sad, so I deleted it. But now I think I'm going to actually do the exact same topic all over again because you know what? I was right then and I'm right now, so I'm going to say it. Okay, the topic here is heavy metal and what the problem with the genre is. And that problem is the fact that despite all this posturing as super masculine, super edgy, super tough men, they're actually a bunch of fucking pussies when it comes to the subject of criticizing religion. And the reason for that is these metal bands, like if you notice, if you know anything about heavy metal music or related genres of music such as like, you know, grunge or new metal or whatever, um, it almost seems like it's a contractual obligation that every metal band has to write at least one song harshly criticizing Christianity. It's probably the most common theme in heavy metal music. Like kneel to the cross, that pathetic cross. Like just blasphemous lyrics, you know, like just mocking Christianity and talking about how Christians are stupid, they're sheep, God is a tyrant, blah blah blah. And it's a cliche, to be quite frank. There's nothing edgy about it anymore when you're saying the exact same thing every other metal band has said. And this extends into similar genres like prog as well. A lot of bands tend to do this. Like every fucking band tends to do this. And the thing is, they're massive pussies because if these big tough heavy metal guys were really tough, then they wouldn't go after the soft target. They would go after the hard target, which is Islam. But you never hear any heavy metal songs criticizing Islam ever. I think Slayer might have done one song that was like called Jihad, but it was actually like it wasn't even that hard on the Muslims. If anything, it was a bit sympathetic toward them. So, I mean, compared to the way in which they totally eviscerate Christianity, they treat Islam with kid gloves if they even address it at all. And that goes for so-called white nationalist heavy metal bands too, like these fucking Norwegian black metal guys. Like I don't hear them saying anything about Islam in their songs, in their lyrics. It's always about Christianity nonstop. And this idea that Christianity is this behemoth that dominates everything, it's the same outdated conceit that cultural Marxists have. It's this 1950s idea that we still live in a Christian society with Christian privilege. It's bullshit. That's very outdated, you know? I mean, the idea of Christian privilege in this day and age is fucking asinine. But anyway, yeah, my point is if these heavy metal bands were truly tough, if they were truly edgy, then they would criticize Islam, you know? Like they would write lyrics about Muhammad being a pedophile and stuff like that. That's what they would say if they were truly edgy, but they aren't. They would have fucking Muhammad bleeding out of every orifice on their album cover, like they do with Christ. Like they have these disgusting images of Christ, these blasphemous images. They have a Cradle of Filth has a t-shirt that they sell that says on it, Jesus is a cunt. And I've seen people walking around wearing this t-shirt before. I remember once my dad saw a guy wearing the shirt and he was just like so pissed off. But I'm like, yeah, it pissed me off too because it's just it's so cheap and it's not edgy at all. If they're really edgy, they would make a t-shirt that says Muhammad is a cunt, but they would never do that because they're pussies. They're not actually edgy. They're actually just another part of the fucking mainstream media controlled probably by the same Jewish-owned record companies as, you know, everyone else. I guarantee you a lot of these metal bands are published under labels that are owned by Jews. And these Jews don't want you to be writing songs critical of Islam. They sure as fuck don't want you to be writing songs critical of Judaism. That might be even more edgy than criticizing Islam. It's pretty close between the two of them, but they don't criticize either. Like, I don't hear metal bands criticizing Islam or Judaism. It's just Christianity. It's a fucking soft target. Mocking Christians in this day and age is like taking candy from a fucking baby. Okay? There's nothing edgy about it. And the same is true for Marilyn Manson with his video of beheading Donald Trump. No, that's not edgy at all. That's easy. That's an easy target. You want edgy? How about beheading Hillary Clinton? Okay? How about beheading Barack Obama? How about beheading Justin Trudeau or Angela Merkel if you want to be truly edgy? Or, hey, I know. You know who's the one Christian, the one fucking Christian who would be edgy to criticize or would be edgy to behead in his music video? Pope Francis. But no, that's probably the one fucking Christian that these metal bands won't criticize, because you know what? They're controlled by the same fucking liberal mass media that controls every other genre of music and every other form of mass media. I mean, yeah, obviously there's underground metal bands too, but it's like I don't see them standing up to criticize Judaism or Islam either. And it's probably because if they did, they couldn't get a gig anywhere. But the fact is, these bands are pussies though, because nobody even tries. You know, nobody even tries to be the one band who's like, hey, we're going to criticize Islam, we're going to criticize Judaism. Nope, nobody's doing it. So I'm going to say all this tough guy stuff in the heavy metal scene is just showmanship. It's just posturing. These men are not actually tough, because if they were, they would go after the hard targets.